my 146th video, in which I want to talk on predisposition of the genetic makeup. You know, every human being has his own genetic makeup, that is the sequence of the organic bases in the DNA, and this DNA structure differs from person to person. Of course, there are say 800 crores of people as on date, and everyone has a different DNA sequence. DNA and organic base sequence is different from person to person. All the 800 crore people. That is the beauty of the genetic predisposition of the human beings. So every person has a specific and a very unique DNA structure in his body, and each cell in his body has the nucleus with the DNA. DNA has the organic basis, and all the organic bases are in a particular sequence which is predestined. The orderliness of the sequence, base sequence, always maintained constant. If it differs, then the human differs. The human being changes. It is not the same as he was. So that is how this is called inheritance. The inheritance is nothing but in sequence of the organic base in the DNA present in the nucleus of the living cells of the body, and this is always maintained constant. It is transferred, the sequence orderliness of the sequence is transferred from one generation to the other, and of course there is a combination of different opposite this thing, say male and female, where there is a change in the DNA base sequence of the DNA in the new generation, offspring. So that's how when there is a change in the DNA base sequence in the DNA, naturally the features of the human being will be different. That's why the children are different, little different from the parents. Of course, even twins also, you find a difference in the sequence of the bases in their DNA. That means their DNA, the DNA systems of the twins is not the same. It differs a little. That's how it is the DNA sequence which is very important, and this is called predisposition of the genetic makeup of the human body, and this can be observed with a simple instances, simple examples, simple evidences. So we can say, suppose two persons are given the same drug. Two persons are given the same drug, but they do respond differently. They do not respond in a similar manner, the same manner. That is the reason why we call there is difference in their genetic makeup. That's why they are responding to the same drug differently. One person very smoothly responds, the other person very aggressively responds to the same drug. So that is that's we call as response to a given drug by the human being. And say psychologically, if you take it for the same situation, in the same situation, when two people are exposed to the similar situation, the two people differently, and they behave differently, they respond differently to the same situation. Maybe the gravity of the situation is same. So when the degree of gravity of the situation is same, the nature of the situation is same, still yet the two people exposed to the same situation, the same degree of gravity, do respond differently. This is the beauty of the human nature, what we call, it depends on the predestined genetic makeup of the human beings. So not only that, In day-to-day life also, every person responds differently. In the family setup, wife and husband, they coexist, but they do not think in similar way. They think differently for the same situation. And their children born from them do think differently with a little difference in their DNA sequence. That is the beauty of the interaction and reaction, counter action of the DNA master controller to the given situation. So that's why we call every person's behavior is controlled and edited by the base sequence, organic base sequence in the DNA of the person. So that's why we call human behavior changes from person to person. Some people become very angry for a given situation for small things, petty things. But some people very tolerant. They never become angry. They don't. They are very cool. They are very cool always, even in the hardest uh, situations also, and difficult situations also. Some people seem to be very cool and calm and very judicious in their behavior, in their actions. But some people will become very aggressive, and they act in different odd situations. They act in different ways, and they act differently, and they become very aggressive. They fight. They do all nonsensical things, all nonsense. So this kind of human behavior. That's why it solely depends on the genetic makeup of the person, DNA structure of the person. So nowadays there are various techniques to study the DNA sequence, to record, map the DNA sequence of the human being by way of next generation sequencing method. By conducting this next generation sequencing method, the scientists, the doctors can know what is the DNA structure, base sequence of the DNA of the person, and they can study, they can see, judge whether which particular drug should be given to the person, that particular person with the particular DNA makeup, because because whether they will judge whether that particular drug will suit him, because he has that particular DNA makeup. So therefore, they will select the drug depending on the DNA structure of the person by way of studying using the new technology, that is next generation sequencing. So this is the beauty of the new diagnostic tools available to the doctors and scientists today. So this is how the DNA makeup plays a vital role in deciding, judging the psychological and emotional, and also diagnostic mm, situations, diagnostic methods of the person, and the behavior of the person in a given situation, and also to treat the person uh, to find the remedies, suitable remedies depending on the DNA makeup. So nowadays, this is the new technology, new tool available in the hands of the doctors and scientists to judge and uh, treat the human beings. Dear viewers of this video, if you like my video, kindly share, subscribe and comment. Thank you very much, dear viewers.